So I want to talk about these pillars of PR. And to me, particularly for your crowdfunding campaign, your aim should be the following. Continually come up with these announcements. So as I mentioned before, your crowdfunding campaign launches. Maybe the next announcement 10 days later is a new partnership or a milestone of funding reached, and continue to make these announcements, generating more media coverage, and it becomes in many ways a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if you have any downtime between these announcements, look to author these thought leadership articles, which will again keep your company in the media, and will generate more media coverage and buzz for your campaign. I just want to emphasize again, these thought leadership articles can't be self-promotional, so they can't be about why my campaign is great, but you can say, hey, well, this is where I see the industry heading, and or here are these 3 things I've learned working in this industry that other people can take value from. And these are articles that even if you don't have a prior relationship with editors, if they're well written enough, they will be accepted. There's one extra third part I want to mention, which are special pitches. And I recommend special pitches if you have already exhausted these announcements and thought leadership articles. And I mention it because if you're looking for the marketing effort that will provide the highest return on investment, it will come through these announcements and press releases and these guest article, thought leadership articles. But if you have extra time, there is room to author these special pitches. And the idea being, let's say for example you're an immigrant founder in the US, and in the news there's a lot of rhetoric by Donald Trump against, let's say, immigrants. Well, you can send a special pitch to a journalist saying if they ever want the perspective of a founder who's an immigrant, that you would love to speak to the reporter. And in many cases, this is a great way to generate additional media coverage for yourself and your profile. And I found these to be very effective. In general, they don't provide the same return on investment for your crowdfunding campaign as these 2 earlier pillars. But again, if you have the extra time, they are things that you can explore. I do want to mention what is all of this for, and this has to do with your crowdfunding campaign, but even more than that, your future company. You can really divide the benefits of PR into 2 sections. There's the short term, which is what is the return on investment, how many people are visiting your campaign, how much money is being raised, and that's very important. There is this long-term benefit that I think tends to be overlooked, and that is there are a number of long-term benefits. For example, SEO, I think, is still the driver of a lot of traffic to websites, etc. But the second thing is that by using PR, you can become the thought leader in a very specific space. And when I say thought leader, what I mean is when people, as an example, write about early stage investments or accelerators, they usually include photos and quotes from this person here. This is Dave McClure, the founder of 5 Minute Startups. Now, he did not contact Inc. magazine for this media coverage, but because he owns that share of mind, when people write about these topics, they include him in those articles. So for each of you with your own campaigns and companies as well, you should try to plan out and think, hey, when the New York Times is writing an article about a specific space, you want to own that share of mind, so they come to you about that article, even if you don't reach out to them. So the beauty of PR is that it is something that compounds over time, and because of that, it gets easier as you continue along in your journey. So again, I know the focus of specifically for your crowdfunding campaign is the short term. How much revenue and funding can you raise? But don't forget about the long-term benefits as well. And in the next slide, we're going to talk about a summary of crowdfunding and how you can use media coverage to raise a great deal of funding.